Hello there everyone and welcome to another video here with Hypnotherapy Training International. And today Dr. John Butler is going to explain to us a little bit what to do if your client resists going into trance, or the demonstration don't work as well as you expected, or the response is different to what you might have wanted to see, etc. So John, if you can cover that topic for us in 5 minutes, that would be great.
Certainly, Dan. Just a quick overview of the main issues that are going on there, are likely to be happening, and how best to deal with them. So-called resistance of going into trance. We prefer the term inhibition because it's a natural state and everybody can go into a level of trance. Whether it's light or deep is not a major issue from a therapeutic outcome point of view, at least for most purposes, most applications of therapy with most clients. And that's a whole other topic really. But the most common reason people inhibit their ability to go into trance is through various fears. And those fears are usually based around the fear of losing control. That's the main one, at least. And fear of not having control often comes from within the person's own sense of, I don't have enough control in life, and fear that so losing any control is a no-no. I just don't want it. I just subconsciously don't like that feeling. And so what are the kind of fears that they then most likely focus on from that primary fear of not being in full control? Well, or not having enough control. Well, there's first of all the fear that I'll maybe reveal some secrets that I don't want to reveal. Certain kinds of feelings of shame and guilt. Revealing my dirty linen in public. There may be the fears of, well, if I'm not in control, I may be powerless to resist you. In other words, they may have a subconscious lack of trust yet about that therapist, because they may be meeting them for the first time. And we have to think about that feeling of feeling vulnerable, of being taken advantage of, being taken over. And that fear of being unaware, of course, that's often associated with hypnosis, that I am unaware, I'm unconscious, a kind of a zombie. And of course, those are all very false fears. Now, it is true there are many levels and depths of trance. In many ways, people may be manipulated, coerced out there in the world, and in different kind of manipulative situations, so-called destructive cults and so on. And so all of these ideas have got confused in people's minds. And Hollywood, of course, the films and books, when they portray hypnosis as being somebody with unusual occult powers taking over people's minds, with those people being unaware, that creates problems. That's in people's subconscious mind. There may be a fear of not coming out. That's another fear. Again, if I'm not in control, I might be left in hypnosis. And of course, there aren't examples of that out there in the world. People can't come out of trance themselves. When we understand that it is a natural phenomenon, a natural state. So the creative mind is what we are really talking about here, and that the human being has that ability to access it. So for inhibiting it, there could be those fears I've mentioned. Fear of going in and being exposed, of not having control, etc. Now, there may be self-sabotage going on. If I go into a trance, then maybe I'll be able to hold myself. And really there's a part of my mind that is not feeling worthy of change. Feeling that lack of self-love, maybe I have to sabotage the therapist and their best efforts. So the therapist educates the client about hypnosis, helps dissolve those myths and misconceptions, teaches them that it is in a more aware state, yet more relaxed, that you can access more of your mind's power, you become more powerful, not less powerful, controlling mind, body function, so on. And as a therapist builds trust and builds a therapeutic relationship, the therapeutic environment, explores those inhibitions that the client has and helps to master them, overcome them, then the client can really begin to experience their inner nature, which is a creative mind, not a destructive, chaotic, swirling mass of unconscious energy. Even the term unconscious means not being conscious, not being aware. So it's not a a good term for that deeper part of our being. It brings up a lot of these old-fashioned ideas which some people have produced in the past, that particularly in psychoanalysis, that somebody else has to interpret your unconscious content, that you're so lacking in awareness of your inner self, and it has this quality of being primal and destructive, as opposed to being a creative mind that has been misprogrammed and has some, yes, conflicts and negative messages in there, false fixed ideas that give you a lot of problems in life. And it's not to say there aren't darker forces within people and there aren't psychopaths out there, but the subconscious mind in its foundations is a powerfully positive creative mind, is a source of great artistic creation, scientific discoveries and breakthroughs, because the creative imagination, as Einstein said, is what allows us to use our logic and use our minds at a much higher level. And so once clients begin to grasp it, once they're properly educated, then they can overcome, and with a bit of therapy help sometimes to overcome the inhibitions, they can really begin to access and work with trance and what's revealed in the trance. So that's just a quick answer to that question, Idan, and thanks to everybody who's listening and watching.